Hey, good morning, and welcome to Bull City Hangout 516. I'm Pat Murray. I publish the Durham Skywriter. It's Durham's online community paper. Check it out at durhamskywriter.com. It's Bull City Hangout. What I do is to tell you what's happening this weekend here in Durham. And I invite you to go ahead and click on that link right there on the Durham Skywriter Facebook page. You can join me on camera, shoot the breeze, promote yourself. All that would be great. It would also be great if you share this out so that more people here in Durham can find out what indeed is happening. So let me put on my specs. Alrighty. Move my keyboard out of the way. Grab my little iPad here. Now, with today being Saturday, that means that I'm only going to be reading from the Let's Go page. But I do invite you to check out the rest of the Durham Skywriter, whenever you have time. And it's durhamskywriter.com. So let's get started with the Let's Go calendar of events page. Let's see what's going on today. Well, the Durham Farmers Market is going on, and that's until noon. The summer hours are 8 until noon, which is really great. Plenty of time to get some fresh produce and the vegetables and the pastries and the plant starts. It is spring after all. So the best place probably to get plant starts, especially if you plan on growing food, are from the people at the farmers market. So there you go. So check that out. Also, if you use SNAP, EBT, WIC, you live in public housing, you can double your money. So don't shop before stopping off at the manager's table. So the Durham Farmers Market in Durham Central Park, which by the way is 501 Foster Street downtown. So you go to the manager's table, it's right in front of the bathrooms, and then I guess you swipe a card or something, but whatever you do, you will be able to double your money. They want to make sure that all of us have access to fresh food, fresh, healthy food. So if you plan to spend $10, they'll give you tokens so you can get $20 worth of food. So definitely check that out. Now, at the same time, the South Durham Farmers Market, they have the same deal. They also sell the fresh produce and pastries, and I think there's a couple of craftsmen there also at the South Durham Farmers Market. And of course, same deal with they have different tokens, but they have the same deal. So they are also open from 8 until noon, and they're located at Hub RTP 500 Park Offices Drive off of Highway 54. Now back to Durham Central Park, the Durham Craft Market. They share Durham Central Park with the farmers market. So that again, it's downtown at 501 Foster Street. There's two places where you can park for free. Of course, you can park on the street, no worries. But there are two parking lots. There's one, let's see, it's on Foster Street, and it is just south of Durham Central Park. If you go just west, you can go to Morris Street and then park in the Measurement Incorporated parking lot. And again, it's totally for free. All right, let's see. What else is happening? Ooh, the Men's Health Council, they're having their Men on the Move walk right now in Sandy Creek Park. Just to let, just to let you know, they do this once a month. They're trying to get men to come out, look out for their own health. Very often, the men look after their kids' health, but they don't look after their own health. So they're trying to get men to think about themselves and to stay healthy and take a monthly walk with the Durham County Department of Public Health. And it's not just men, because sometimes the best way to get men involved is to get involved yourself. So women, kids, you are welcome to take part in the Men on the Move walk, just so long as you bring the dad or uncle or whoever. So it's going on right now, so it's too late to join, but I just wanted to let you know. Oh, Alexander Valladares is here. Okay, wait, she has a document there. Yeah, let me just skip over to her event because Alexandra, I want to invite you to come on the show if you like. And basically, the way you do it is to go to the Durham Skywriter Facebook page, and then there's a link there. But let me just jump over to her event, which is later on today, and I'll mention it twice. Let's see, where is it? There it is. So correct me if I am wrong in terms of who is putting on. I could only figure out who's putting on this event by social media. So let me know if I got it wrong. And I want to try your name again. Valladares. There you go. Okay. Every Town for Gun Safety and Comunidad de Durham, they're co-hosting the 4th Annual Youth and Family Forum for Gun Violence Prevention. That's going to be this afternoon from 2 until 5. It's going to be at City Network, which is downtown, 112 Broadway Street. They have their own parking lot, by the way. So this is going to be an interactive, community-led event. You'll be meeting local activists working for peace and also positive conflict resolution. And you will also see presentations by students who have done some serious research, and they've come up with innovative ideas and solutions to gun violence. So you definitely want to meet these kids and students. Sometimes they don't like being called kids, but I will be there doing some interviews and some videos and photos. So you might want to add your voice to those who understand the dangers and are against the violence that tears neighborhoods apart. This forum is made possible by community partners. I like to give people credit, so go along with me as I tell you about all the different community partners. Bike Durham, Boost Science Program, Cafecito Catracho, City of Durham's Office of Survivor Care and Community Safety Department, Communities in Partnership, Duke School of Nursing, Duke University Hospital's Violence Recovery Program, Durham Tribe, Foro de Padres, Kind Kitchen Group, NIA Educational Services, and North Carolina Central University's Community Engagement and Service and Office of International Affairs. Free admission. They would like for you to go ahead and register because they probably would like to maybe, have you on their contact list when they have other events like this. So that's going to be this afternoon from 2 until 5 at City Network. And again, Alexandra, if you want to join me on camera, you are welcome to do so by clicking on the link on the Facebook page. Then I can bring you on after I do the weather. Alrighty, and all you need is your phone. You don't need anything fancy. So let me go back up to the top of the date here, the 16th. Let's see. Oh, Wheels Durham. They're offering, is that going on right now? Darn it. Well, every Saturday, I just want to mention, every Saturday, Wheels Durham has kids roller skating lessons. So this is for young people, ages 3 to 17. It's going on right now, but I'm just letting you know. It's probably too late to head out there now, but just to let you know, every Saturday, your young folks can learn how to skate. Admission is $15, and that does include skate rentals. Now, if you have real little kids, after all, they're starting at age 3, they have those cute little Fisher-Price skates, and they also have wrist guards, because sometimes when you fall, you catch yourself, with your wrists, your hands, and you can really get hurt that way. So you want your kids to probably wear, your little ones to wear the wrist guards. So there's going to be more skating, and I'll mention it in just a second. Party of One is going to have, darn it, that's going on right now too. There's so much going on a Saturday. Okay, so I'll skip that one. Now, this one's going on right now, but they don't mind people tiptoeing in late because it happens all the time. District 1 PAC, they're meeting right now. They just started at 10. PAC is Partners Against Crime. And basically, it's a good way to find out what's going on in your community. You get to meet the local police. Sometimes you get to meet the county sheriff's officers. Of course, you'll be meeting people from the city, the county, Durham Parks and Recreation. This is going to be held at the Holton Career and Resource Center, 401 North Driver Street. So again, they started at 10, but people are always coming in late, so it's no big deal if you tiptoe in. Also, it's good being there in person because they usually have a lot of handouts from different community organizations, and you want to make sure to get that information. Now, if you simply know you just can't make it, you just don't like being late, you can tune in via Zoom. So I have the link right there. So you can definitely do that as well. Okay, here's where the skating comes back into play. Wheels Durham, which is at 715 North Hoover Road, they're hosting all-day skate with Stitch. You know, Lilo and Stitch, you know, Disney. So that's going to be today from 11 until 6:30. They used to have two different sessions, but they decided to put them together and make it an all-day skate. So you can just skate all you want. All you want. Admission for skaters is $13. Skate rentals are $6, $7 for rollerblades. Now, if you're a parent or aunt or uncle or non-skater, you're just there to watch your kids, then you'll pay $4. So that's going to be, again, today from 11 until 6:30. The Community Health Coalition, they're hosting a food giveaway at Kyle's Temple, AME Zion Church, 409 Dunstan Avenue. That's between Fayetteville and Roxborough. And if you're coming down Fayetteville, it's right around the corner from Birthday Funeral Home. So when you get there to the church, it's a big, you can't miss it. It's in the middle of the block, but it's a big, beautiful church. Can't miss it. As you go towards the church, the first door that you see, don't go upstairs. The first door that you come to, just walk in. Don't knock. It's a big, heavy door, and they will not hear you. Ask how I know. So let's see. So Alexandra, if you want to come on the show, then definitely go ahead and go to the Durham Skywriter Facebook page, and the link is there. Alrighty, let's see. Oh, did I tell you the food giveaway? That's from noon until 2. So that's happening real soon, from noon until 2. So if you're struggling, don't be embarrassed. Just head over there, and they'll give you some food. Boxyard RTP, which is at 900 Park Offices Drive off of Highway 54. They'll be featuring Funky Rock and Roll by the Wiley Fosters. That's the Saturdays music series from noon until 2. Totally free. You'll be sitting outside enjoying some great music, knowing that you're surrounded by restaurants. So when you get hungry or thirsty, you can just make a quick purchase and then get back to the music. The North Durham Farmers Market, they're back. And they're at the Soul Sanctuary, 1016 Old Oxford Road. That's from noon until 4 today. You can get fresh produce, artisanal goods, and homemade products. They have craftsmen there. So same deal. If you use SNAP, EBT, WIC, you live in public housing, you can double your money. They have their own, everybody has their own tokens, but you can definitely double your money. Again, they want everybody to have access to fresh food. Today's Bembe. We've all been looking forward to Bembe, Durham Parks and Recreation. They're hosting the 56th annual Bembe Cultural Arts Festival in Rock Quarry Park. And somebody told me back in the day, way back in the day, I think they started on I think NCCU's campus, North Carolina Central University, and then they went to Duke. And they just kept outgrowing the space. So I don't know if they were ever downtown. But anyway, now they're at Rock Quarry Park, 701 Stadium Drive. It's free admission and, of course, free lots of free parking. You don't have to worry about the parking. And so you're on the Facebook page. I posted the link. Yeah, go to the Durham Skywriter Facebook page, and the link should be there because I posted it. Let me make sure that I posted it. Let's see. Let me make sure. I did. Yes, it's on the Durham Skywriter Facebook page. So you can't miss it. Okay. Oh, she said I was correct listing Comunidad de Durham. Okay, excellent, excellent. Okay. So if you're on the Durham Skywriter Facebook page watching from, it says that you're watching from Facebook. I'll go ahead and post the link again. Let me copy the link. Okay, so I copied the link, and now, it says I clicked on it. Let me post it again, make sure I got it right. Let's see, let me go to Durham Skywriter. Link. And there's the link. Hey, William M. Andrews is here saying, good morning, Durham, North Carolina. And of course, it's, oh, wait, let me put your comment on. I don't want to shortchange you there. So good morning. And then it's a beautiful day in the Bull City. There's Alexandra. Yeah, I'll be bringing you on right after I do the weather. Okay. All right. So William is here watching. Awesome, awesome. So let me continue. Let's see. So, oh, Bembe. So it's the 56th annual Bembe. Celebrate African and African American culture and traditions. They're going to have lots of fun activities. They're going to have a family fun zone. They're going to have great food, Southern and Caribbean. And I was told by someone from, I forget which island. I forget. But anyway, it's not Caribbean. She says it's pronounced Caribbean because I think the original people living on the islands were, I think, Carib. I think they were called Carib or something like that. So it's Caribbean, not Caribbean. Okay, let me continue. They're also going to have community resources. Don't forget your lawn chair, especially if you're older and you need to sit down and relax. So they're going to have oh, don't forget your blanket. Now, I don't think the ground will be wet. We've been going through a bit of a drought. So I think if you bring a blanket, you should be okay. I don't think the ground will be wet. It's hosted by personality Brian Dawson, and Bembe will feature performers. I'm going to try to say this. Cyanca. It's Cyanca. So it might be Cyanca. Eric Duncan, Just Once, DJ Gemini, and headliner Dougie Fresh. Woo! Okay, I just saw him on YouTube just like yesterday. Free admission, and it says it's going to be from 1 until 7 in Rock Quarry Park. Again, Rock Quarry Park, 701 Stadium Drive. 1 until 7. Used to be a little later, but that's okay. It's from 1 until 7. That's plenty of time to have lots of fun in the park. And I just described in detail Comunidad de Durham's I didn't point out, fourth annual Youth and Family Forum for Gun Violence Prevention. That will be from 2 until 5 at Reese City Network, which is downtown at 112 Broadway Street. And Ms. Valladares will be on camera talking about that in just a few minutes after I do the weather. So I'll just continue. The Bull City Metal Fest. So I guess we have metal rock bands in the area. I didn't know. So there you go. So this is the last of a 2-day showcase of head-banging local and regional bands at Stanchik's Music Bar. And I think that's a new spot. Stanchik's Music Bar is at 1007 West Main Street. So that's going to be today from 2 until midnight. So I think downtown is going to be rocking a little bit. So here's the schedule. I won't mention the times. I don't want to take up too much time, but I will mention the band names. Swineherd, Open Slot, Brutal Jr., Hitachi Torture. This is heavy metal, so I'm just saying. We Follow the Earth, Ape Vermin, Mean Green, Night Night, U.S. Christmas, and Tooth. How about that? Again, it's metal, so the names are going to be kind of wild. The day pass for today will be 20, and I do have the link so you can get more information and make your purchase in advance if they're not sold out already. Now this afternoon from 3 until 5, Moondog Meadery and Bottle Shop at 1104 Broad Street. That's under Joe Van Gogh. They'll be hosting an Irish music jam, and that will be today from 3 until 5. Bring your acoustic instrument and have fun playing Irish music, jigs, reels, etc., etc. If you are like me and you love Irish music but you don't know how to play it, they welcome you to just come in and just listen and just enjoy the music. Wheels Drum is back at 715 North Hoover Road. They're back with Hip Hop Saturday Night Skate. That will be from 7 until 9:30. Admission for skaters is $14, and skate rentals are $6, $7 for rollerbladers. Now, if you're under 18, you've got to be there with someone who is age 21 plus, or they will not let you in. So that again is from 7 until 9:30. So for the most part, it's for people who are 18, who are, I'm sorry, 21 plus. Actually, 18 plus. You have to be with someone age 21 plus if you're under 18. Hope you caught that. Singer-songwriters John Gillespie, Michael Paris, The Raven, and The Remedy, they'll be giving a free concert at the Sacred Grounds Coffee House, the Christian music venue at 2700 North Roxborough Road at St. Paul United Methodist Church. That's tonight at 7:30. Again, it's free, and donations will be, of course, graciously accepted. Now, tomorrow there's a few things going on. Wheels Durham will be having Sunday public skate from 12:30 until 3. Admission for skaters is $13, and you can rent if you don't own. The Black Market NC, they're back with the Black Farmers Market. They are back at Durham Tech, Durham Technical Community College, 1637 East Lawson Street from 1 until 4 tomorrow. They also have the same deal where you can double your money if you're using SNAP, EBT, WIC, or if you're living in public housing. Same deal. They probably have their own tokens. So from 1 until 4, you can go shopping with the Black Farmers Market. And be sure, before you shop, if you want that deal with the tokens, stop off at their manager's table first. Wheels Drum is not done yet. They're going to have another Sunday public skate session from 3:30 until 6 tomorrow. Admission for skaters is $13, and again, you can rent if you don't own. Last but not least, the Triangle Dance Studio at 2603 South Miami Boulevard. They're going to have Sunday Salsa Social tomorrow from 6:30 until 9:30. You can dance salsa, bachata, cha-cha, kizomba, merengue, cumbia. If you don't know how to dance those dances, that's okay, because they will be teaching you at 6:30, and then they will let you loose for open dancing for the rest of the night until 9:30. Admission is $9, $7 for active military and students with current ID, and it's free for young folks age 16 and younger. And now, let's do the weather. Whoa, where's my phone? Oh, wait, it's in my pocket. Wait a minute. There's my phone. Let's do the weather. Let's see. It's 70 already. Okay, not bad. That means it's going to be hot this afternoon. I'm here for that. So it's 70 right now. It's going up to 84 degrees. Loving that. Perfect day for everything I listed. So it looks like it's going to be, sunny all afternoon. Nice. Oh, wait a minute. It's going to get cloudy around dinner time. That's okay. It's not going to rain. It looks like we're not going to have rain for a little bit. We're still kind of in a drought. So sunny day up to 84. Let's look ahead at tomorrow. 90 tomorrow and sunny. Love that. Looking ahead to next week, this is unprecedented. I wonder if we're breaking records, because Monday 91, Tuesday 91, Wednesday 92, Thursday. Oh, we're getting rain finally. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday, and Monday. Yeah, we're going to have some rain soon, and we need it, especially those who have the gardens and have planted, their food and whatnot. There you go. Okay. Now, Alexandra Valladares, if you're ready, let's visit. So let's see if she's able to turn her camera back on. I can bring you on. There we are. So let me first click on Dynamic Scene. Click on Alexandra. And transition. Good morning.
Good morning, Patricia. So great seeing you.
Yeah, nice seeing you. How are you today?
I'm doing well. It's been a good morning.
I like your hat.
Thank you. I stay with the hats. It's been one of the things that I give to myself, like multiple hats, different styles.
Oh, nice. So something very important is happening this afternoon.
Yes, at 2:00 today. We're going to be at City Network, and that is at 112 Broadway Street in
Mhm.
downtown Durham. And our partners, Bike Durham, have secured the space at City, and so we will be in one of the main rooms that
Okay.
where we've been before. So as soon as you come in on the
Mhm.
right hand side, just look to the right hand side, and you'll see some
Okay.
tables as well. So
Okay.
no no need to get lost.
Okay. Okay. So there's going to be presentations and descriptions of solutions to gun violence and
Yes, and an opportunity. So we do have prior work, and the prior work is important. That's going to be showcased. The prior work includes research done by young people,
mhm.
a youth. It's a community youth advisory board that came
Ooh,
together,
ooh,
and in partnership with the Duke School of Nursing, they did some participatory action research on gun violence prevention in Durham.
mhm.
And so some of these families came together. There were focus groups, and all that data is work that has happened in the last couple of years.
Mhm.
However, today we also want to give an opportunity for any young person who wants to weigh in on this to also
Mhm.
participate. And for that, we're going to
Mhm.
have presentations that have activities where youth can also lend their voice. So,
Oh,
um,
nice.
yes, and that's going to be with the Duke School of Nursing and also with Uzuri Holder and
Mhm.
Asmund Johnson from the Duke Violence Recovery Program, who
Okay.
also have presentations, and we will have like activities where youth and families can weigh in and give some of their solutions, because we know that we need more voices at the table that are directly impacted, families who want to weigh in, and that's going to be an ongoing conversation in Durham.
Mhm. I wonder, will like the police be there and that organization Heart, will they be there for kids to give their opinions on what's going on?
Yes, we have
Okay.
actively been promoting some of the citywide initiatives and sessions
Mhm.
for feedback, and we know that those sessions have been happening in the last couple of months, and they will be present today because that was also an ask for them to make room for this event, this engagement, and
Mhm.
to hear directly from the youth. And so we have
Yeah.
some expert facilitators who are helping us out. I mentioned a few of them, but also I want to mention the work of Mama Reese, Miss Reese, who
Okay.
is also works in youth spaces, has been doing a lot of work, including we share work around community schools and some of the first community schools in Durham, like myself doing the pilot at Club Boulevard, herself being the coordinator at Lakewood,
Mhm.
and also moving on to create her own NIA educational services. So she also will be facilitating some of that feedback, gathering some of that feedback with young people. And we've also invited Chef Cicely,
Okay.
who also works with youth, and her approach is through food and the love of food.
Oh,
And she's going to lead us through an interactive presentation on lemonade, how community can come together, how different ingredients come together to make something that is unique. And so the lemonade,
interesting.
yeah, it's Durham's lemonade. Like, what are we really wanting to how are we wanting to come together?
Mhm.
What are the ways that we can also ensure that our voices are represented and that we are making room for important ingredients in this work of prevention?
Okay. So when we say students, are we talking about college, high school, or what age are we talking about as far as the young people giving presentations and doing the research?
So what we find is that in Durham public schools, elementary school students are enduring lockdowns. Middle school students are enduring lockdowns. High school
Oh,
students are enduring lockdowns. So at this point, it's pretty much it's up to the discretion of parents who want to bring their children to this. But we're opening it to every child who has gone through schooling from elementary school, middle, high, and even college, because lockdowns are happening even at the elementary level, unfortunately.
that is really sad because I'm from Chicago, where people kind of make fun of the South Side and the violence that they hear about, and yet we've never had. I can't think of the various schools I've attended. Never had a lockdown. This is really sad to to see Durham go through these, circumstances where kids are even knowing about such things.
It's really sad. I've talked to families who have actually pulled their kids out from their school, from their base school. In this case, Durham Public Schools has seen a declining enrollment, and they
Oh,
pull them with, just the intention to place them in places where there aren't any lockdowns. And so sometimes they go to charters, but then the charters, I'm hearing from the families who have, pulled their kids from Durham Public Schools to go into charters, that even the charters have lockdowns. And one particular charter has had 8 lockdowns this year, and the
oh,
family said it was even worse than the school that they left in Durham Public Schools. And so, I mean, we're dealing with this. This is these are elementary school children and
that's
middle school children,
crazy.
yes, who have endured, yeah, the just the scare
Oh
of
my
lockdowns,
God.
and families who pick up their kids because they don't want to take a chance, so they're driving from work to come to the school to make sure they're all right. And I mean, I lived through this because my own kids have been in multiple lockdowns, and I'm a Hillside
Multiple?
graduate.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
yeah, my family actually unfortunately has experience with gun violence. We are survivors of gun violence,
Hmm.
and it's. I mean, we've been in Durham for a long time, and we have a lot of love, and we also understand that this is not a one person or one particular factor. This is a multi-factor uh, issue. So we have to address the multiple factors that are
Hmm.
coalescing around creating an environment where kids feel unsafe. And sometimes
Hmm.
that safety, um, they're trying to figure out what safety looks like to them, and some of those choices are not the best choices that we want them to make. And
Yeah.
so, in that sense, we have to have those conversations about factors that are leading to this.
Hmm.
My school days at Hillside, I didn't have lockdowns. My children have had multiple lockdowns as Hillside students that they have been, and then also surviving a near miss of bullets in the BP next to my school, which happened to my own family with a bullet in my car. And this was a moment where my son said, "We almost died today." But
Oh my
again,
God.
the situation is not about blaming one particular school. I mean, this is happening.
Yeah.
Weapons are happening. They're showing up in schools, and DPS has that data of how after the pandemic we saw an increase in weapons showing up, or even the suspicion, because we do have tip lines, and sometimes those tip lines say, "Hey, I think I saw a weapon in somebody's book bag," and so they have to place the
Ooh.
school on lockdown and verify.
Ooh.
And sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's, but we do want kids to continue to communicate to the tip line, because the tip line is our best
Absolutely.
defense to, say something. You see something, say something. That's the approach that DPS has,
Hmm.
to continue to ask students to communicate anytime they feel unsafe, anytime they see something that they think warrants an investigation,
Hmm.
that the school protocols are to do the lockdown, investigate, and then come up with what happens. And so, but the lockdowns also happen around the community. So sometimes it has nothing to do with the school. And I love Hillside. And so I just want
Yeah.
y'all to know this is not about you. I'm using an example. There's
Yeah.
Riverside has had lockdowns, Southern has had lockdowns, Jordan has had lockdowns.
Oh my God.
All the there's very few schools in DPS that haven't had a lockdown. And so we have to, as a community, determine why is this happening to all our schools. Um, how can we come together to support our families
Hmm.
and continue to support public education, continue to support our schools, but also make sure that we are getting at this proactively, more proactively than waiting till something happens. We don't want to wait till till things happen.
I'll bet a lot of adults are like me. Those of us who don't have kids in the school system, or in schools, period, um, are probably unaware. I mean, unless sometimes I'm sure these stories make the news when someone actually gets shot. But for schools being on lockdown, if you don't have children, or your children aren't in school anymore, you probably don't even realize that these schools are on lockdown. They don't tell the whole neighborhood unless there's a gunman on the loose. So I was unaware that all these schools had lockdowns.
As I mentioned, sometimes it's not even within the school walls. Sometimes it's something happening in the community. So if there's something happening at the gas station, so there are schools that are proximate to gas stations. And so when it
Right.
comes to, again, my
Awesome.
alma mater that I love, and please continue to support Hillside High School.
Absolutely.
That school has given me everything that I am. And you will see there's so many success stories from Hillside
Absolutely.
that I
I
could
mean,
spend days
my mom
talking
went
about
to
Hillside.
Hillside. I'm totally, yeah, yeah.
So love to my school. But as I'm
Absolutely.
mentioning, there's two gas stations. One, one next to Hillside and one right in front of Hillside. So,
Yeah. Hmm.
there's something to be said about gas stations. People who study geographic information systems can sometimes do the mapping of the data and
Hmm.
figure out, what are some places that are places where sometimes conflict coalesces. Not to say that it is directly causing
Yeah.
gun violence, but there is something, and I think some like Minister Paul Scott, who's been out in community,
Hmm.
has asked many questions about like looking into the data. Where are the guns coming from? Where are we really? We need more answers. We need more
Yeah.
explanations than just some of the single story narratives that are being said.
Yeah.
That sometimes the guns are coming from this point or that point, or they're just coming from the glove compartment of a car, which they are. Some of them are, but not all of them.
Hmm.
So there's more questions to be asked about in what ways are guns getting into the hands of our youth.
Right. And I want to acknowledge Carlos Lamont Jackson saying we need more real talk like this to make real change. I really appreciate that, Carlos. I really do. And Malachi, who uh, watches Bull City Hangout on a regular basis and makes really helpful comments. Just wondering what time it starts at
Yes,
2.
Malachi, love to you. Yeah, Malachi is down for the cause. Thank you so much, Malachi. It's going to be at 2 p.m. So, yes, 2 p.m. at Bree City in downtown Durham.
From 2 until 5.
Yes, 2 to 5.
Absolutely. So the takeaway is that those of us who are not parents and those of us who are still caring very much about Durham, we're probably going to learn an awful lot at this event. Sounds like.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I also invited some policy folks that are involved in making policy. So I will say something. A couple years ago, 50 years ago, the policy may have looked a little different. So that this way of having more lockdowns is not only about an increase in the presence of gun violence factors, but it also is about processes that are working, which means that we now know a little bit better about what to do, what are the steps, and people are following it to fidelity. So that when they hear something, they're not waiting and second guessing whether it's true or not, whether it's valid or not. They're immediately, deploying the protocol. And the protocol is to, talk to the administration. The administration places the school on lockdown. They investigate, and then they say it's all clear. So I will say that sometimes processes that are meant to protect sometimes give a little bit of skewed data about the level of alarm. It's not to say that we shouldn't be alarmed. We should. But I
Yeah.
also want to say that, 50 years ago, I don't know, when I was a student at Hillside, maybe that process was there, but it wasn't maybe followed to the same fidelity to put the school on lockdown. If there was something, maybe there was a different, protocols and processes change over time. And so that's something for historians
Well,
that I would love to hear
when
from
I was
principals.
when I was a kid, we had drills for attacks by the Russians. But then I was born in 55, so you can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big controversy was, whether Russia was going to attack us all. And that was coming from within. So, so we
You're
have.
right here.
But let me ask you this because I do remember seeing an article about some app that was out encouraging the young people if they saw something that they could um, anonymously send it via an app. But then it occurred to me, kids aren't allowed to have phones in school, are they?
So there's been some policy changes where, in order to prioritize the education and the instructional time, the board did pass a policy that children should not have their phones in their hands while the instructor is speaking, and teachers have responded positively to that. But I will say that they this concern about safety, I did write the board. Many of us wrote the board, but this was one of the conversations where I was like, to my former colleagues, because I used to be on the board, I was like, you need to hear what these families are saying. They are saying they don't feel safe sending their kids to school without their phones. So their kids are going to have their phones. And so I was able to have conversations with many of my former colleagues to express to me that they understand the desire to have phones, and also how it makes the families feel safe, the parents feel safe, that they can reach their kids if there's anything that is happening, but that they do want to prioritize instructional time. And so I guess the middle ground was to pass the policy, because it became state law too, but to pass the policy in Durham that they can have their phones, but it has to be in their book bag, or it has to be, it cannot be in their hand while the teacher is speaking. And I think that being a restorative district, there are some conversations to be had about, the sense of safety that kids feel. And sometimes like that doesn't make them feel safe. They'd rather have their phone in their hand.
Yeah.
But there's more conversations about the implementation of that policy. But what I do know is that they do allow the phones in the book bag next to the child or under the seat, as long as it's not in their hand while the teachers are teaching.
Okay, because otherwise, I guess they could go to the office, but I don't know if the kid would want to be seen going to the office to.
Right.
And plus, you could hear what when you're. Last time I was in an office, high school office, you could hear everything going on. The kid calling the parent because they're sick today and they want to be picked up, and disciplinary. Ask so and so to come to my office. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable as a child going in there reporting on another kid unless they could find a place where you could whisper it or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Patricia, I'm so sorry that my phone is low on juice. It seems like
Oh, you got
I've
you
been
got
up since
that
early,
phone.
but
I'll
I will say this. This is the importance of these conversations happening. And so I also want to thank all the folks in the community who are hosting events around this, because this is not a single event and it doesn't take one single group. This is about the community coming together. And so everyone is invited tonight. I mean, to 2 to 5 at
uh,
Re-City. But there's also opportunity to continue this work in our neighborhoods, with our churches, with our community, with our groups, with affinity groups and affinity spaces, at the cafes, in the parks,
and the PAC meetings,
in
like
the pack meetings.
PAC one is meeting right now, in fact.
Yes.
So yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show, and I'll see you at 2.
Yes. See you at 2. Thank you so much for having me here.
Absolutely, and feel free to always come back whenever you like.
Thank you so much, Patricia.
Okay,
Really
take care.
appreciate this. See you later.
See you
Thank
later.
you. Bye
Okay,
bye.
bye. Awesome. Wow. So I guess you know where I'll be from 2 until 5. So I'll be interviewing some of the young people and seeing what they have to say. And wow, this is really a deep, deep subject. And I would love to talk with more people about this topic, because keeping kids safe, people in general safe, especially the young folks, it's paramount. It's just so important. They are literally the future. I know people say, "Oh, the kids are the future." They literally are. We're not going to be here forever. So anyway, that is it for today's show. I got to get ready for being at Re-City at 2 o'clock. So let me just put my outro in place. I do invite you to check out the Durham Skywriter at durhamskywriter.com. That's the community paper that I publish. It's Durham's online community paper. Enjoy the weekend. The weather is going to be incredible. So enjoy the weather. Enjoy the afternoon. Enjoy the weekend. And I want to say congratulations to all the graduates from preschool all the way up to advanced degrees. Congratulations. And with that, I'll say ciao for now.